The Toyota Land Cruiser may have moved on from V8 power, but the Nissan Patrol is embracing it. In a world of turbo V6s and hybrids, this big SUV is sticking with old school. But does that still make sense for those wanting to tow and head off-road? The Nissan Patrol has long been an Aussie favourite, and while there's an all-new model that's already been revealed overseas, that car doesn't get here until late 2026, which is lucky because there's still plenty of life and love for this outgoing model. In car terms, this so-called Y62 Patrol is old, almost geriatric. It first went on sale in Australia in 2013, and before then it had been on sale overseas for a few years. So it really is getting on in life, but it's proving more popular than ever, in part because of what is up here. It's still got an old school V8 engine. So whereas its prime rival, the Toyota Land Cruiser, downsized to a V6, this one kicks on with a V8. Big engine for a big car. Now, speaking of big, it is huge. It's one of the largest SUVs on our road, and it's got seating for up to 8 people. Now, price-wise, kicks off at a little bit under 100 grand plus on-road costs and heads north of that. There are 3 models, the TI, the TIL with more luxury and only 7 seats, and then the Warrior Edition, which is higher ride height, chunkier wheels and tyres, beefed up suspension, all that sort of stuff, as well as a side exit exhaust. We'll get onto that a little bit later. The Patrol hasn't been independently crash tested by NCAP, and it misses out on some of the latest trinkets, such as driver monitoring and a door opening warning system. Not that the target market's likely to miss those sorts of things too much. The basics are there, including front and side airbags, blind spot warning, auto braking and recross traffic alert. The standard warranty gives you protection for 5 years, but you can extend that up to 10 years and 300,000 kilometres if you continue to get the car serviced at a Nissan dealer. This is the big draw card with the Patrol and why the sales of it are so strong all those years since it went on sale. There's nothing remotely high-tech about it. It's a 5.6 litre V8 engine, but it's a V8 in an era when V8s are a dying breed, particularly when that Land Cruiser's gone down to a V6. The big thing, it sounds really cool. It's got that sort of muscular sort of tone to it, and particularly if you get the Warrior version with the side exit exhaust, that sounds seriously beefy. Not hugely fuel efficient, so it can chew through the juice, but it's got a 140 litre fuel tank, so that sort of helps it along. Now, in terms of performance, yes, it is solid. Not the most powerful thing in the world, but it's got good throttle response. It performs much better than most people are going to expect in a car like this. You've got to climb into the Patrol. It's a seriously big car, and even stepping in, you get that impression. But once you're here, you do get a good view, albeit plenty of it bonnet, and there's no hiding the fact that this is a massive vehicle. Now, over the years, Nissan's done a fair bit in terms of tweaking this car and bringing it up to speed, particularly with the interior, touching on things here and there. But it's taken until 2025 to finally get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto into that infotainment system. So a new screen that sort of brings it a little bit up to date. Elsewhere though, the car is really starting to show its age. It's got this sort of old world feel to it. You've got shiny old school wood. You've got sweeps and swoops and that look like they're from another decade, and some of the finishes and materials. The old school analog instrument cluster. It's an old car. It's starting to feel that inside. That heft on the outside translates to serious space in here. You're not going to have the slightest problem fitting 3 adults across the back here. It is really, really broad. And even in the centre, I don't think you're going to get a whole lot of people complaining. And knee room, check this, it's almost limo-like in terms of how much space I've got. Now, you can't slide this middle row seat forward or backward, but it does still give you decent space for the people in the back. Speaking of which, if you get the TI model, the entry level, you're looking at 8 seats, so 3 across the rear. The TIL, the more expensive, better equipped one, it's a bit heavier, so they actually pull that back to 2 seats back there. But all 3 rows, you get air vents, not a whole lot to complain about back here. Even with all 3 rows of seats in use, Nissan claims 467 litres of luggage space, so it's sort of useful. You can pack it right up. But if you're going on a big trip, you'll need more than that, which you'll get once you start folding this. The Patrol is also about towing, capable of lugging up to 3.5 tonnes, and that big V8 doesn't have the slightest issue getting the job done.
Let MotorScout find the best deal on your new car. Select the car you're looking to purchase on our website. From there, MotorScout will go to work for you, negotiating with all the dealerships in your area. And within hours, you'll receive the best prices and availability on your new car. Ready to get started? Simply visit motorscout.com.au or give us a call.
There is no shortage of thrust from that big V8. And it all happens really quickly. The second you step on the throttle, it responds really swiftly and things happen. And it sounds pretty cool. So it sort of suits the character of the car in a lot of ways. But you can almost hear it slurping in the fuel. It's a thirsty beast. Despite its size, it's actually pretty well behaved for such a large off-roader. Unusually in the four-wheel drive market, this car has independent suspension front and rear. So it's a bit of a rarity, and it sort of helps it sit a bit more comfortably on the road. So instead of that sort of wallowy feel that you can get in big, heavy four-wheel drives, this one isn't too bad in terms of what it does. So it's surprising. That said, you are never left in any doubt that this is a big car. It is certainly hefty, and you are always aware of that. Not only with the metal you can see around, but the height you're sitting up, all that sort of stuff. It's a big vehicle. Of course, it does its best work in rough terrain, and where the Patrol really excels is on sort of faster flowing country roads and gravel roads that might be a bit chopped up, where again that suspension sort of works to help it out. It's pretty well controlled in terms of the way it deals with bumps, but also the comfort levels in the cabin. When you get into really serious off-road terrain, this thing doesn't have the wheel articulation of something like a Land Cruiser, so it's not quite there in terms of the really, really serious off-roading. But it's pretty well suited generally, and it's certainly an extremely capable car. But you're always aware of that sort of old school flavour. Even just looking at the instrument cluster, seeing those analog dials there, it's a little bit unusual, particularly in a $100,000 car. And the steering wheel, it only adjusts up and down. You can't pull it in and out to try and get it closer to you, for example. So that's a bit of a downer, but otherwise, seating position, everything else is pretty good. The Y62 Patrol is old school, which sort of works for and against it. It's starting to look and feel a tad tired, but it still performs really well. And at its heart, that V8 engine is its draw card. Yes, it's thirsty, but it gets the job done and sounds terrific doing it. Now, for people who want to head to the outback, who want to tackle the Simpson Desert, those sorts of things, you could certainly do a lot worse. It certainly delivers on bang for buck.